Hi, this review is on the movie Dream Scenario. So the plot of this movie is this man named Paul Matthews, played by Nicolas Cage, is a college professor who's been having a really weird day as soon as he gets it because he meets a whole bunch of strangers who think, "Haven't I seen you before?" or "I think I saw you somewhere," and then he finds out that a bunch of people have been seeing him in their dreams. Like everybody starts saying, "I know you. I had a dream about you last night." Like it all becomes so weird, and Paul is so confused what's happening to the point where he goes into when he tries to teach at his college, all his students find it weird that everybody's been seeing him. Like, can we take this guy seriously if he's just showing up in a bunch of strange dreams? It's and so Paul has to go around and figure out what's causing all this, and he soon finds out that he's becoming a celebrity. Like he's in interviews and such. He's all over the world, and he's on the news. And eventually, though, people start being afraid of him because he also appears in nightmares, not just dreams. So Paul has to go around and try to stop all the ridicule towards him, and hopefully make the world more peaceful towards him, and say that life isn't doesn't revolve around people's dreams. They're just spontaneous things that happen while we sleep. We can't really control them, and um, they don't say anything about reality. This was a funny movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's very quirky. What do you really expect? It's a comedy with Nicolas Cage, and I think we can all agree Nicolas Cage is definitely a one of a kind actor. I will say, okay, in all seriousness, like Nicolas Cage, I know I always say his roles are really strange, and lots of the time, the characters he plays are just weird and questionable, and lots of his acting is really over the top. And yeah, I know it sounds like I hate Nicolas Cage in every movie, one of his movies that I review. It sounds like I hate him. I don't hate him at all. I just think he can be ridiculous a lot of the times. But in movies like this, I think he really works. Kind of like The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like his quirky sense of humor and wisecracking personality does really work with this kind of movie. Because I don't hate Nicolas Cage at all. I think he's a really talented actor. It's just sometimes in a few movies his performances can be a bit too much. But in movies like this, I actually thought he did quite good, and the whole bizarre plot of this movie really fit with his performance. I mean, a man realizing that he's appearing in everyone's dreams and he's really questioning reality, like that's a funny idea, and it definitely seems like the kind of role that Nicolas Cage would be in. Although one thing that really surprised me about this movie, I guess, okay, I think it's not really spoiler because I already mentioned it in the plot, but I guess if you don't want this movie spoiled for you, I guess you could stop watching the video. When I said he appears in people's nightmares, the movie gets surprisingly dark. Like, I don't mean dark as in not a comedy like some people say dark is, which people abuse the word dark so much too. But not only is it dark, it's kind of depressing actually. Like the first half and even majority of this movie I thought was pretty funny. Like I legit was laughing at a lot of the moments, like just the weird reactions he has to people living in their dreams. And there is this one funny scene where I don't know how I can really describe this scene without getting this video flagged, but let's just say there's this one person who had a certain kind of dream with Paul and wants to act it out with him. Yeah, it's really strange, and just the awkward situation he's put in does make it really funny. Um, but the movie gets pretty sad in the third act because he sees because everyone starts seeing him in his nightmares and they ridicule him, and it's basically a satirical take on cancel culture because somebody wants a person dead and blacklisted just because he was in a nightmare people had. That's that's pretty ridiculous. And for such a goofy ridiculous movie, I think it's pretty highbrow commentary on today's society because lots of people get ridiculed and canceled, I guess is the term now, for the smallest things. And like sometimes, sure, it's earned, but like I can understand in some scenarios, but like it's like seeing someone in nightmares, like obviously, like a weird realm of visions you have when you sleep, it doesn't say much about the real world. So that is a ridiculous thing to blacklist someone for. And you feel bad for him. Like you would expect Nicolas Cage's character to be over the top and just let out like a big yell and like have like a really over the top breakdown, but no, it's actually emotional, and even his family fears him. Like he has a daughter, and she even Paul's daughter even like gets upset at him, and he feels upset about it that everybody hates him now, and it's pretty sad. Like I like legit. I was thinking, oh, this is kind of depressing for a goofy Nicolas Cage movie, but it's pretty well done. It's both dramatic, but also works as satire, and it's really a weird blend that works. And I think like it really took the movie definitely took a darker turn that I wasn't expecting, and it got pretty smart. So, which is fine because usually in movies, the third act is when a lot of movies fall apart. This movie, like, okay, the first two acts I really enjoyed. I was like, okay, this is quite funny, like, a weird Nicolas Cage movie, and then it ends pretty smart. Like, it's actually really well written, and I really enjoyed the third act, and it's acted well too, and despite the ridiculous concept, it actually really works as a drama. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not super deep, but when you really think about it, it makes sense given both the satire and the fact that you just feel bad for the main character. So I do really give this movie credit. It works as both a drama movie and a comedy movie, and that's really not something that's easy to do. So I really appreciate this movie for that. And Nicolas Cage seems like the one actor who could pull that off. And there isn't really a lot of big names in the movie besides Nicolas Cage. I mean, Michael Cera is in the movie. He's more of a side role. Um, he plays Paul's marketing firm, who basically gives him all the publicity about how he's a man peering in everyone's dreams. And he's not in the movie that much, but he was there to see. He was good to see because he hasn't been in a heck of a lot lately, Michael Cera. I mean, he recently was just in Barbie last year too. So, and Tim Meadows plays the dean of the college, and he was also just in that Mean Girls remake. And Tim Meadows is an actor that, like, I mean, I know he did get after he got a start on SNL, he was in quite a few movies like Mean Girl, the original Mean Girls, but lately he hasn't done a heck of a lot, so it was good to see him finally do another comedy. And yeah, Dream Scenario, it's a strange film, but that's really what makes it strong. And it's weirdly really witty. So, yeah, if you really want a goofy Nicolas Cage movie, I mean, it is something good to watch. But if you want to watch something weirdly thought provoking, I think it's pretty good too. So, yeah, Dream Scenario, if you have the time, I definitely recommend checking out. It's weirdly quite good. I really enjoyed myself with it. So, yeah, Dream Scenario, I definitely recommend it, and I definitely was surprised how good it was. I mean, I wouldn't call it maybe I wouldn't exactly call it great or even amazing, but I did really like it. So, see you later, everybody.